Imagine a highly experienced radiologist staring at a complex chest X-ray on a massive glowing monitor. They have spent over 12 years in medical school, residency, and intense fellowships just to reach this specific moment. They have trained their entire adult life to detect microscopic anomalies that could save a human life. It takes them exactly 4 minutes to confidently diagnose the scan, but right next to them, sitting quietly in a server rack, an artificial intelligence algorithm just analyzed 100,000 identical chest X-rays in exactly 24 seconds, and its diagnosis is actually more accurate than the human doctor. You know what is crazy? Society completely believes that artificial intelligence is only coming from manual labor and simple factory jobs. We assume that highly educated, complex professions are permanently safe. We think blue-collar jobs will disappear, but white-collar jobs are protected by intelligence. But the truth is incredibly shocking. The jobs that AI will replace the fastest are actually the jobs that require the most screen time, data processing, and expensive human intelligence. Before we dive in, remember this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Welcome to TAFA Finance, where we explain investing concepts in a simple way. In this channel, we spend way too much time thinking about how people sabotage their own wealth without even realizing it. The concept we are talking about today is the intelligence premium. Think of the modern job market exactly like an old-fashioned assembly line. Hundreds of years ago, a physical assembly line required massive amounts of human muscle. Then, we invented machines that were stronger, faster, and cheaper than human muscle. The physical premium dropped to zero. Today, the modern corporate office is simply an assembly line for human intelligence. You sit at a desk and use your brain to process data, write code, or draft legal contracts. Your intelligence is the muscle. But we have just invented machines that are mathematically faster and significantly cheaper at processing data than the human brain. The intelligence premium is currently dropping to zero, and letting society convince you that your college degree makes you immune to this shift is the exact psychological mechanism that guarantees your wealth will be permanently destroyed. Let me break down the math for you. Let us look at the brutal reality of what happens when artificial intelligence enters a high-paying white-collar industry. Imagine a corporate law firm that employs 20 junior lawyers. Each lawyer makes $120,000 USD a year. Their primary job is to sit in a cubicle for 60 hours a week, reading through massive piles of old legal documents to find specific clauses for upcoming trials. The firm is spending $2,400,000 USD every single year just on salaries for these junior lawyers, plus health insurance and massive office space. Now, an AI software company approaches the firm. They offer a legal algorithm that can instantly read, scan, and summarize 500,000 pages of legal documents in exactly 3 seconds, with zero human error. Look, and I need you to really listen to this. The cost of that AI software is $50,000 USD a year. The cost of the 20 human lawyers is $2,400,000 USD a year. The AI does not sleep. The AI does not need health insurance. The AI does not take vacations. Mathematically, the law firm has no choice. They fire 18 of the junior lawyers and keep 2 to manage the software. The 18 lawyers who were fired spent $200,000 USD on law school, fully believing they were buying absolute job security. They thought their intelligence made them irreplaceable. But they are completely trapped because they never realized they were simply acting as expensive, slow data processors. That is not a coincidence, that is a pattern. The middle class is entirely trapped in a cycle of taking on massive student debt for jobs that algorithms can now do for pennies. Here is the part that surprises almost everyone. Highly intelligent, deeply educated people are actually the fastest demographic to fall into this trap. Why do incredibly smart people willingly sabotage their wealth by ignoring the threat of AI? It comes down to deeply ingrained psychological traps and biological ego that completely bypass human logic. First, the trap of cognitive exceptionalism. The human brain evolved over millions of years to believe that its own intelligence is the ultimate survival tool. In ancient history, if you were the smartest person in the tribe, you were the safest. Your brain is biologically wired to assume that human reasoning is sacred and impossible to replicate. Today, when you sit in a fancy office making 150,000 USD as a financial analyst, your brain registers the exact same biological signal of safety. You falsely believe that because your job is difficult for a human to learn, it must be impossible for a machine to learn. You literally expose your life savings and your career to catastrophic risk just to satisfy your primitive biological assumption that human intelligence is superior. You pay a massive financial premium just to soothe your ego. Elite wealth creators hack this biological bug by intentionally killing their own ego. They openly admit that a machine can do their job better, and they pivot to owning the machines instead of competing with them. Second, the linear prediction bias. The human brain is a biological machine violently optimized to think in straight lines. When you look at the progress of a skill, you assume tomorrow will look slightly better than today. But artificial intelligence does not grow linearly. It grows exponentially. Last year, an AI could barely write a coherent paragraph. This year, it can write a flawless 5,000-word marketing campaign in 3 seconds. Because your primitive brain cannot physically process exponential growth, you look at a flawed AI today and laugh at it. You think your job as a copywriter is safe because the AI made a grammar mistake. You violently abandon your financial logic because living in denial feels like a faster path to emotional safety. You protect your fragile ego by laughing at the algorithm, but you completely destroy your financial foundation because the algorithm doubles in power every 6 months. The rich hack this by realizing that AI is not competing with who you are today. It is competing with who you will be tomorrow. Third, the sunk cost identity fusion. We naturally assume that our expensive education protects us. But the human brain completely tricks you by fusing your identity to the money and time you already spent. When you spend 8 years and 150,000 USD becoming a specialized accountant, your entire identity becomes fused with that specific skill. Admitting that an AI can balance a ledger faster than you feels like an attack on your very existence. It feels weak. You falsely believe that because you worked hard to get the degree, the market owes you a high salary. The human brain completely tricks you because your wealth is tied up in a skill that is rapidly depreciating in value. You exhaust your mental energy fighting a losing battle against inevitable automation. You trap your future in decades of financial stress simply because protecting your degree triggered your primitive reward system. The wealthy hack this by realizing that past education has absolutely zero bearing on future market value. Here is the catch. You can completely rewrite this toxic biological programming by attacking the root identity of your career habits rather than just trying to work harder. You cannot just rely on manual willpower to outwork a supercomputer. You need a cold, hard system to protect your money from your own emotional brain and adapt to the new economy. Decide that today you will practice radical skill detachment. Stop relying on your primitive instincts to defend your current job title. Your primitive brain is highly susceptible to ego and sunk cost fallacy. You must establish a strict mechanical boundary that prevents you from fusing your identity to a depreciating skill. Decide right now that your current job title is dead. If you are a graphic designer, assume the job of graphic designer will not exist in 5 years. You mathematically force your logical brain to take control back from your emotional brain. You build unstoppable psychological momentum because you force yourself to ask, if my job is dead, what valuable human skill do I need to learn next? You pivot before the market forces you to. Decide that today you will practice AI amplification. Your financial anxiety is directly influenced by the fact that you view AI as an enemy. If you fight the iron hammer, you will get crushed by it. You must completely remove the resistance from your financial life. Every single time you sit down to work, you must actively search for a way to use AI to do 80% of the heavy lifting. You must assign every tedious, data-driven task to the algorithm. By giving the machine a strict mathematical mission to do the boring work, you safely starve your biological urge to feel productive through exhausting manual labor. You mathematically trap yourself into building wealth because you transition from being the worker on the assembly line to being the manager of the entire factory. Decide that today you will build unautomatable human leverage. You must completely remove the human ego from your value proposition. Stop trying to prove to your boss that you can process data faster than the software, because I promise you, you cannot. You must decide today that true status is cultivating skills a machine cannot replicate. True status is having massive empathy, complex problem-solving ability in unpredictable environments, and the emotional intelligence to negotiate real human deals. Set up your career so that you spend 80% of your time building relationships and human trust, while the algorithm handles the execution. By completely removing yourself from the data processing game, you mathematically free up your mental energy to focus entirely on becoming a high-level human strategist. Big takeaway. The absolute fastest way to stay permanently broke in the new economy is to deeply believe that your college degree protects you from automation. True wealth is not about outworking a supercomputer to finally feel intellectually superior. True wealth is about absolutely refusing to surrender your capital to a primitive emotional need to defend a dying profession. True wealth is owning the boring, invisible digital systems that capture and compound leverage over time, while everyone else is panicking and destroying their peace of mind, trying to figure out why their expensive degree is suddenly worthless. If you look at your past and realize you have completely panicked and wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars on an education for a job that is currently being automated, take a deep breath. Do not panic. You are not stupid. You are not lazy. You are not a weak person destined for failure. You are simply fighting against millions of years of human tribal evolution that relentlessly prioritizes familiar, linear safety over exponential change. You are fighting this battle against a massive institutional marketing machine designed to sell you an outdated version of success. Wanting to feel secure in your job is completely normal. The problem only starts when that desire begins making your financial decisions for you and blinding you to reality. Acknowledging this psychological warfare is the very first step to escaping it. You have the ultimate power to step out of your comfort zone, stop competing with the machine, and start commanding it right now. If you found value in this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep making these videos for you. Let me know down in the comments. What is one task in your current job that you know deep down in AI could probably do faster than you? Be honest. I read every single one. Also, check out this other video on the screen right now where we break down another massive investing myth. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.